What's going on, Blues? Welcome back to Life as an Evertonian. This is our final summary video of the defeat against Liverpool yesterday at Anfield in the Merseyside derby. Blues, got to address just a few things in terms of my content that I produced yesterday. By no means were I being negative about the performance. What I was indicating is Everton give Liverpool the game in the first 20 to 30 minutes. We allowed them to dictate play. In a short video that I did yesterday on my channel, which was like an edit from the content that I produced, I said the Merseyside derbies aren't the same anymore. There wasn't that bite in midfield. There wasn't that tackle, that 50-50 challenge to get the Everton crowd going. Okay? And that is what we lacked in that first half hour. We let Liverpool just play through us. We weren't tracking our men. It was a really, really poor start to the game. The shift of game, the play, the result, it could have changed if Everton got back into it. We had a really good chance when we were just 1-0 down with Kieran Dewsbury Hall. And I said, if we would have took that chance, maybe the shift could have changed then. That was on the 20-minute mark, just after Liverpool sang their Jota song, which they do in respect of the passing of Diego Jota. Everton had a really good chance just after that. And I personally feel that the shift of play, the game could have changed on that point. But we allowed Liverpool to score again. They took both the goals really, really well. That is what Everton lack. That number 9. So by no means were I being negative about the performance as a whole, because I thought Liverpool turned up for half an hour and then Everton turned up for 60 minutes. But in that 60 minutes where Everton found themselves in the game, making a good account for themselves, we didn't really create a ton of chances. The goal was a really good goal. Jack Grealish down that left-hand side, Miranda in runs, creating lots of invention, whipped a ball in, and Jai's deft touched it, Idrissa Gana Gueye top bins. More of that. I had a feeling Everton were going to go and get another goal, but it was always going to be an uphill battle for that first 20 to 30 minutes that Everton didn't produce. Now listen, we're getting closer. We're edging closer to a team that plays at that level, like Liverpool, like Villa the other week. You know, Villa have had a tough start to the season, but we was the better team. When I think about the likes of Barry coming on for Beto, 22-year-old lad, new to the Premier League, a lot of Evertonians are saying Beto's not good enough, Barry's not good enough, 6'5", he can't win any headers. He really got that move going for that first goal. It was a lovely touch. It was the same kind of play that he did for the second goal when we played Brighton in the opening game of the season at Hill Dickinson. Well, it wasn't the opening, but the opening game at Hill Dickinson. So there's improvements, I feel, when Barry comes on. The League Cup on Tuesday. We're going to see, I'm hoping, the likes of Tyler Diblin. Okay, because I were crying out yesterday for me on a personal level. I were crying out for changes to be made sooner. It didn't happen again. Just like it didn't against Villa. Now, does David Moyes, he's got to trust these players. You know, games are won and games are, you can get back into games with changes. You know, Liverpool were tiring. But even though Jack Grealish had such a good game, that lad were knackered. He'd run himself into the ground, constantly pinging out to the left. That's where everything was coming from. So could we have seen potentially Kieran Dewsbury Hall coming off and Jai coming in centre, Tyler Diblin coming on the right? I've been very critical of players like Dwight McNeil in the past. But, when I think about that game that he came on against Forest, needle in a haystack kind of butt through ball, we know he's got a thunderbolt strike. There's different ways of winning games. Were Everton running out of ideas yesterday? Was there a chance that Everton could make those changes? The likes of Alcaraz, big goal against Newcastle, big goal in the League Cup. Now, I know Alcaraz came on, but are they given enough time to change the game? Almost like a throw of the dice, a roll of the dice kind of. Listen, there's 3 windows to make substitutions. You've got a chance of making 5 substitutions. I just think Everton need to use and utilise that. We have got a squad there now, albeit not thick and bolstered like other clubs. But we've got a player, we've got 2 players for every position almost. So that is what I was saying yesterday. By no means was it a negative video. I just felt Everton give the game away in the first 20 to 30 minutes. It was always going to be a uphill battle. I thought the minutes that was given in injury time was shocking. 3 minutes, 1 minute in the first half, 4 minutes in total. Really poor officiating in lots of parts of the game. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall getting booked for taking a free kick quick. So there's lots of improvements. Let that be a key word for you Evertonians. There is a lot of key improvements. And we were never going to overhaul and change the squad in one window of David Moyes coming in. But I would just like to see changes. We see a lot of teams making changes on the hour. They bring on 2 substitutions on the hour. Everton are just waiting to like the 83rd minute. And have they got enough time there to make impact? So this League Cup game coming up on Tuesday, I think we're going to see Dwight on the left, potentially. Alcaraz as a 10. Tyler Diblin on the right. Barry will start. Merlin Roll if he's fit. And obviously he's took a knock. Seamus Coleman. So that's my final summary, Blues. Listen, we could have come away with a point yesterday. We could have come away with 3 points against Villa. We've only come away with 1. But the performance, the levels of performance are improving vastly. Okay, so I want to end it there, Blues. Let me know your thoughts. We move on to the League Cup on Tuesday against Wolverhampton Wanderers, where again, I feel that a lot of these players are going to be given the chance. They need to be given the chance. The League Cup is important to us. And we need to go for it. We really need to go for this cup. Moyes needs it. The club needs it. And I almost don't want us to make too many changes. But if he doesn't, I want to see players coming on. Depending, obviously, how the game is going. But there's always those chances and options to make those changes. And I just feel we've stalled. David Moyes has stalled. His team have stalled in making those changes. They've been a little bit too cautious and going out with what we've got. So, Blues, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that bell to turn on post notifications. Up the toffees. And I'll see you in the next one.